Hey everyone, I'm Megan Tuncer. I am a new pro triathlete. I did a video a few years ago with A2 talking about my new bike setup. I switched to electronic shifting on this bike. I'd always had mechanical before. And since I've done a lot of upgrades, I thought it was time to kind of walk you through what the bike looks like now. So last year, I had the unfortunate experience of having an airline absolutely destroy my bike, which created some opportunity to upgrade things and really set up the bike the way that I want him to. When I first got this bike, I needed to go into a race like 2 weeks later. I needed to get a bike that I knew I could ride, that I trusted, and I got the SP 1.1E. It's the rival hydraulic brake, rival electronic system. But now that I've had a little bit of time to sit with it, this is kind of my dream bike setup, and I was able to do it all with the original things that I had on the A2. So the first thing was I replaced the entire front cockpit. Again, that was courtesy of the airline that destroyed my bike. But they were fantastic. They did help me with all of that. If you want any information on how that works, let me know at Megan Tuncer on Instagram. So I went to the Vision carbon system for a couple reasons. Not only carbon is light, carbon is a little bit softer when you're going over those bumps. I mean, it's cool. But the biggest thing was that the carbon system was able to put my bars at an angle, at a pretty nice angle, if you can see it. And I even wanted more when I went to go get my bike fit. And that's part of the reason why we went with TriRig, these arm scoops. One thing to know about me is, so I ride a size small. As you can see, there's not a lot of space with the seat posts. I have short legs compared to my torso, which is a pretty long reach. A couple of other things going on with me. I was hit by a car a few years ago. I have some spine restrictions. So I really needed a setup that could be super dialed in for me. So going with the carbon system, it gave me that angle. Throwing the TriRig closed back scoops on here gave me a little bit more reach. Gave me more flexibility with how long I could go on the bike, especially because I had maxed out the stem here. A2 does have a really cool stem system where it goes 3 different options of how long you can go without having to replace the stem. So maxed that out, pushed the bars forward, and then even got the TriRig system on top to give me a little bit of extra length. Another very cool thing that is a work in progress, it's absolutely a work in progress, but you can see the behind the scenes. I have some 3D printed Blip Mounts. I have an amazing friend, Dwayne, who also loves triathlon and was able to print these for me. These are just the prototypes. I am getting the carbon version very soon before Oceanside, which is my first race of the season. This way I could put my blips wherever I wanted. Since 2 years ago, I went completely wireless, no blip box. And one thing is I ride my hands a little bit puppy pawed. I cover it. So having a lot of the blip options that stick outside the bar just didn't work for me. So I needed something that could cover my bars and I could tilt them inwards and have them in a really comfortable spot for my shoulders, my back, everything. Like I said, with my restrictions with my back injury, I needed something that could work for me all the way. Onto the wheels. Wheels have stayed the same. I got the Vision, the Metron 81s. I absolutely love them. I haven't had a reason to change them. I think in the future, the only thing I'm eyeballing is getting a disc back there. I, in the past, have ridden a disc, haven't upgraded since. I am in school, and all my money is going to school. It is what it is, but I've been eyeballing Vision too for their disc. I really like the wheels, and I don't see why I would change. I think the biggest update, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, is I am riding teeny tiny cranks. They are 150s. Like I said, my legs are on the shorter side. I am 5'4" to give you that information. I, with my back injury, needed a wider hip angle, was having some issues with cramping, was having some issues just with back discomfort, and the Pog does it, so that's cool. But I went with 150 cranks after talking with my fitter. I go to Output Speed Lab, Josh in Bend. He is amazing. I got to try a bunch of different lengths. Absolutely loved the 150s. These are rotor. It does require a complete bottom, well, it required for me a different bottom bracket and to replace some of the things with the new system because I was running SRAM before. But it was super simple, super duper simple. I am running with an Aero Chainring. That was not my choice. My fiance said, and I quote, "You'll look cooler like this, and it's so Aero." And when he wants to get you a birthday gift, you don't say no. But it's probably my favorite part of the bike now, I'll be completely honest. One of the last things, I guess, is I did change my power pedals. I've always run power pedals. I went to, well, you can see them on the other side. They are the Favero Assioma. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Single side power pedal. One thing to keep in mind when you're considering getting new power pedals is something that completely did not enter my brain. My pedals were clapped. They were done. The bearings weren't good. Even though they were still registering power, it wasn't a good pedal. So I, of course, dug my feet in on getting new power pedals. Of course, they're expensive, but I go with the pedals so I can swap them from bike to bike because I'm on many different bikes when I'm training, and I absolutely love these. I also got them from Bike Tires Direct. They have amazing deals on these pedals and a lot of the accessories on here. They are a local Portland company as well. So like I said, if you're looking to upgrade your A2, everything that I've put on here, new Vision Cockpit, the TriRig up front, my own 3D printed things, the new power pedals, rotor, different wheels, all of that, it's all doable. That's one of the things that I really loved about A2, about the SP, was that I could start somewhere that was within my price point and where I was 2 years ago. And through the years, I've added more and more. I've customized it. It's all worked. I've been able to call A2 and say, hey, I need some help figuring out the specs or finding this part. Can you help me? And they've been really, really great at upgrading everything. So I'm stoked I get to race it like this setup for the first time in Oceanside. And then I have Eagleman coming up next. Eagleman is like close, dear to my heart because that is my home race, being a Maryland girl. So those are my first 70.3s, and then I'll turn my attention to full distance Ironmans after that, which is, that's what I love racing. I love spending those long days on the bike. So I'm stoked. Over the years, there are a lot of things that I've learned that I would not have thought of immediately. Learning from, I train with a lot of cyclists, and my fiance is a cyclist, and people give me a lot of their opinions, whether I want it or not. But one I will say is the wax chain. I switched over to wax chains, and it has changed everything. Not only am I just really less concerned about the elements, I mean, we can get into all of the numbers on why a wax chain is better. It's on the internet. You can look it up. But you know what? You know what's great? When you bump your bike against yourself, or you bump your bike against a wall or a couch or something, and it's clean. Like, if that's not convincing you enough, forget the numbers. You see these clean hands? Anyways, wax chain for the win. I'm never going back. Look at that. Like, I had a little bit, but how's this for a jump scare? Oh. There's nothing sexier than an Aero helmet. It's what everyone says. You hear it on the street. You're all talking about it. I don't know who they are, but